Hey guys, it's Jackson here from Titanic Games, and today we're going to look at kind of improving our flying movement from before. So in the last, flying movement video I did, we kind of did like some up, down, left, right, forward, backward kind of movement, right? But in this one, we're going to be kind of moving the character, like making them fly towards wherever the camera is aiming, sort of. So more of like a superhero kind of flying around sort of thing. Okay, so it's really quite simple, but first we need an animation for it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Adobe Mixamo here, and we're going to use this to get what we need. So I'm going to go to my assets here, and I do have a previous video on how to do this, so you can go ahead and check that out too if you want. But anyways, I'm going to select my dude that I want to use. I'm going to find animations for him. I'm going to type fly, and you should be able to find this flying animation here, but I'm going to set it to in place because I don't want him flying all over the place. So we'll go ahead and set it to in place. Then we'll say add to pack, and then I'm going to change its name here to just flying. Okay, and then we'll do view/download. Okay, so we've done that. Let's hit Q download. And for the format type, we're going to choose FBX for Unreal. If you don't have this option, just choose the regular FBX. Okay, cue the download. Once it's ready, we're going to download. Okay, it's going to do its thing. Might take a little bit, so one sec. So now that it's ready, we can extract it. I'm just going to extract it to itself. You can put it, wherever you want, really. Okay, so now we have this, right? Awesome. Let's go back to Unreal. And we're going to create a folder really quick called just Mixamo. Okay, I'm going to open it up, right click, import, and we are going to import the animations and everything. So first thing we need to import is the actual base, skeleton model guy himself. So I'll open that. Now, since I'm purely using this dude for animations and not for like actually showing up in the game, I'm going to untick materials and textures just because we don't need them, but everything else you can leave the same, and then make sure skeleton is set to none. So import that. That will import the skeleton, create all the skeleton kind of assets that it needs, and just ignore these. Okay, now I'm going to delete this base animation here because we don't need it, but then hit save. Okay, now that we have the skeleton, we can import the actual animation. So we'll right click again, import, choose that flying animation. So open that. And now for the skeleton, we'll choose the test male model, so the guy we just imported. Okay, import that. Awesome. So if we open this up, you can see here he is, he's flying. This is great. Okay. So next what we need to do is we need to set up the animation retargeting kind of poses. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this skeleton guy here first. So we'll open him up, and I've done previous videos on how to do this, so this will just be kind of a quick overview, or going through it really quickly. So I recommend checking out the other videos for more in-depth. So I'm gonna hit show advanced. I'm gonna right click, set all these back to skeleton, change this first to animation, change this one to animation scaled, go down to the IKs, do animation for those. If you don't have IKs, you don't have to worry about this. Okay, so that's done. Then we'll go to the retarget manager. I'm going to set up a rig, a humanoid rig, and we're going to hit auto mapping. Now the auto mapping might not do things very well for you, so I recommend then doing things manually. Okay, if you encounter any problems, then we'll go to show advanced, do the same thing, auto mapping, perfect. Save the pose. Okay, awesome. So we'll save everything, close out of him for now. Okay, and let's go find our the skeleton for our character here. So we'll go to mannequin, characters, mesh, and skeleton. Okay, and we'll go to our skeleton, and I've actually already set up the rig, but I'll just show you again really quick how to do that. Okay, you just select the humanoid rig, do auto mapping. That should do it all fine. Okay, and then show advanced, do the same thing, and you're good to go. Okay, now I have altered this view pose, or the retarget pose, but I'll show you how to do that really quick. Again, So if you hit view pose, you can see here's the pose that he's going to use for his retargeting. We just want to make sure that we set it to an A pose or a T pose, because that's what our other skeleton is using. So we'll move his arm up to about 45, move his left arm back to back 20, do the same thing on this arm, up 45, back 20. There we go. Okay, then make sure you hit save pose, otherwise it's not going to work. Okay, so if you view the pose now, you should see it's like this, and then when you hide it, he's back to his normal state. Okay, so now we're ready to retarget the animation. Okay, so we'll go back to Mixamo here, take our animation, right click, retarget. So we'll duplicate and retarget. We'll choose our our guy to retarget to. I'm just going to leave it named flying, but I'm going to change the location to mannequin animations. Okay, so we'll hit OK, and now we can retarget. So here it is. Awesome. Shows up and it's working, right? All of his animations are good. Okay, so next let's look at creating the blend space that we're going to use for this flying. Okay, so first thing, we'll right click, go to animation, go to blend space 1D, and we will choose our UE4 mannequin here for this. So I'm going to call this I guess idle, kind of idle fly, or I don't know, just flying underscore BS for blend space. Okay, so we'll open this up, and I'm going to change the x-axis label here to speed. I'm going to change it from 0 to 1000. Okay, and I'm just going to hit apply, and then we're going to display it vertically just because I like to work this way. Okay, now for the idle, which means speed of 0. Okay, we're going to go ahead and choose the jump loop, so he's just kind of floating in the air. So there he is. Awesome. And then for the full-on speed, we'll choose the flying. Okay, so he's going to kind of boom, right, take off. Okay, so that's great. That's all we need there. Next, let's go into our animation blueprint here. Okay, and let's go back a little bit. Go into the anim graph. Okay, go into your state machine that's by default it's here. Okay, and off of idle run, okay, we are going to add that new blend space we just made. So we'll take our flying blend space, drag it out, drop it. Okay, and we'll hook this up. Okay, now we need to have some kind of variable that tells us, hey, we can enter this blend space, and then hey, we can unenter this blend space, right? We can go back. So we'll go to the My Blueprint tab, add a variable called isFlying. Okay, and we'll go open this one up by double clicking. We'll take isFlying, plug it in. Okay, then we'll go back, do the same for the other, except this time we want to get it and say not, which means are we not flying? Okay, and then that'll allow us to return. Now, last thing we just need to make sure we do is open up the flying blend space and take our speed variable here and connect it. Okay, so next let's go to the event graph. And what we need to do is, so you'll see right here they're getting a movement component, or they're getting the movement component of the pawn here, and then they're checking if you're falling, and then setting is in air, right? So we're going to do the same thing except for flying. So we're going to drag off, say get movement component, and we're going to say is flying, and you can do the same for like is crouching, is walking, etc. But then we're going to drag off and we're going to say set is flying. Okay, so we'll plug this in, plug this into speed. Now compile and save, and the animation blueprint is now set up and ready for us to work. Now we need to actually go and add the functionality to our character. So we'll open up his blueprint. Okay, we'll go in here, and what we're going to do is first we need kind of a button press, some kind of event to make have us enter flight mode. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll go over, find some space. I'm going to right click and I'm going to choose just, I guess, the F key for flight. Okay, so when we press it, we're going to do what's called a flip-flop, which is essentially a toggle, right? It'll toggle between two options. Okay, and we're going to toggle between, let's get our character movement. we're going to say set movement mode. Oops. We're going to say set movement mode. Okay, hook this up. And when we first press it, we want to set it to flying. Okay, and then we'll just copy paste. So then when we press it again, we'll set it back to walking. And just make sure you hook this up to target so there's no errors. Okay, so that's all good now. Okay, let's see. So the next thing we're going to do is, if we look on our self here, we can see that we've got some values here for use, controller, rotation, pitch, yaw, roll, etc. So we're actually going to use these first two because we need to be able to kind of rotate our character to face whatever direction we want him to fly, I guess. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll drag off and we'll say set use controller rotation pitch. Then we'll do the same here, set use controller rotation yaw. Okay, and since these will both be the same, we can just plug this value in and we'll set it to true. Okay, then we'll just copy and paste down here, okay, because we want to unset it once we leave our flying movement. Okay, now one last thing, when we release from our kind of flying movement, our rotation might be really weird, so we want to just kind of set our rotation back to something nice. So we'll say set actor rotation, and we'll set it back to 0, 0, 0. Okay. So next, what we're going to do is, and we'll actually come back to that in a little bit because there's some more stuff we can tweak. But next, what we're going to do is we just want to take our move forward here, do a branch, and we want to check if we are flying. Okay, so we are going to take our movement component. We're going to say is flying. We'll plug this in. Okay, so if it's true, right, then we're going to fly, a certain way. But if it's false, then we'll just move normal. Okay, so if it's true, we're going to take this movement component, add it up here. Okay, we're going to plug in the axis value. And now to make our character fly in the direction that our camera is facing, right, we need to take our camera, we need to get it, we need to say get forward vector. So we'll get kind of the forward direction of it, and then we'll use that for our world direction. Alright, so that's all good. So everything should be in place now for us to test. Last thing, let's just go to character movement, type fly, and we want to make sure that we set can fly to true, and then we'll change our max speed here to 1000 since that's the value that we set for our speed in the animation blueprint. So compile and save. Now let's test it out. If we hit play, right, here I am running around normal, but as soon as I hit F, I enter this kind of flight mode, and I can control my rotation and everything. Maybe this isn't 100% what you want, but you can tweak it, play around with it. Now if we press W to move forward, we'll fly forward in whatever direction the camera is aiming. So yeah, kind of cool, I guess. And then slowing down is obviously a little weird yet. But we can change up some of the flight movement. Okay, you can change like braking deceleration. Let's maybe set that to like 500. Okay, that'll just slow us down more. Another thing with the set actor rotation, right? Let's try that out really quick. If I hit F, right, and we fly up, and now I hit F again, you'll see he rotated weird. If we want him to rotate to face our control, like our camera's rotation, what we'll do is we'll say get control rotation. Okay, we'll right click and we'll split this, and then we'll also split the new rotation here. Okay, and we will just plug in the yaw right here. Okay, so the other two will be fine. So now if we hit play, hit F, okay, fly up, he should just stay rotated this way. So see, nice. And there you have it. There's how to set up some more advanced kind of flight behavior, movement, whatever. You can definitely customize it more if you want. But with that, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you found this helpful. And if you liked the video, like or subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.